How you doing, sis? It's a bit too light. Wait there. 1 second. 1 second. I am here. 1 second. There's a bit of a light in my eyes. How we doing? How are we? Welcome to my channel, True Crime with Jess Rose. Sorry, off to a bit of a frantic start, I'm afraid. So there we go. Here we go. How are we, you two? I'm sorry, this is what you're having to view at the minute. It's just, I got myself all, we're really hot and I'm wearing a polo neck. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what was going on, but I'll cool down soon. How are we, you two? How are we going? I wonder if it'll just be us three this week. Because it was, we had Phil last week, but we haven't even got Phil tonight. So I wonder if it's just going to be the three of us. If you are watching tomorrow, why aren't you here? But I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 o'clock. Tuesdays are normally our request evening. But I missed last Thursday, so I'm going to do that story tonight. But why aren't you here? And if... Oh, Kelly's here. Hey, lovely. How we doing? Hey, P. How we doing? How we going? How's it going? But yes, yeah, I'm not talking to myself. I'm not crazy. It is alive. Come and join us. Or join my Patreon, patreon.com/JessRose5472. Or just like, comment, subscribe on this one. You can join us at the end for my funky little jingle. But I'm just going to have a little chat with these guys for a couple of minutes and then we'll start the story. Do you know, can I just say why I'm so faffed? Do you want to know why I'm like this? And you probably haven't watched it. But have any of yous watched... I'm so embarrassed that I watch it. But have any of yous... Oh, thanks, P. Are you talking to me? Do any of yous watch the... oh, I'm so embarrassed. The Whatever podcast or Fresh and Fit or Fit and Fresh. Have any of yous watched that? Oh, it's just car crash. It's car crash on YouTube. I can't, it's addictive. Have you not, Kelly? It's not true crime at all. This is completely, it's what I do when I've watched so much crime and stuff. I think I need something just easy going, easy watching. Warwick, I reckon you'd like it because it's just... It's terrible. It's called You've Either Got Fresh and Fit. Right, okay, let me tell you very quickly what these podcasts are. Fresh and Fit started it. Two guys. And basically, obviously, I don't know if you have noticed, but the current climate... Hi, Sharon. How we doing? Look, there's a few more of us tonight. This is nice. I was scared it was just going to be me, Tiff and Warwick. Not that... Oh, that sounded terrible. But no, right, I'm just going to move quickly past that. I didn't mean that. But it's, you know, we're in that climate of kind of, I don't know if you notice, it's very man-hatery at the moment. You know, we always used, as women, we always made a joke of, oh, men can't do this. It was, you know, it's always a joke and stuff. Well, no, it's going beyond a joke, I think. That's what I'm finding. So what it's bred is, have any of you've got to have heard of Andrew Tate. You've got to have heard of him by now. He's just... So he's obviously spawned a load of like-minded blokes who are out there. I think what's frustrating is they're so young. They're so young in what they're talking, but that's the funny thing. And what they do, they've got these podcasts where you've got Fresh and Fit. I prefer the Whatever podcast. It's not as hostile. But you've got these guys who are called, they're kind of traditional guys. They're kind of traditional guys. And they are very much, we want traditional women. We want quiet women. we don't want OnlyFans women, right? So it's quite confrontational. And then they have about 8 or 9 girls. Oh, thanks, Warwick. It will be, will be. I thought I'd just start off a little bit lighter, to be honest. But yeah, you have about 8 or 9 girls who are like OnlyFans girls, and it's car crash telly. It's you've got to watch it. You've got to watch it. If ever you want something easy going where you can just be like, oh my God, what is going on? You need to look at one of these podcasts, the two of them. They're both on YouTube. Fresh and Fit got demonetized, I think. Whatever podcast is still going. Don't watch the whole thing. They're like 6 hours long, but you can get clips. And they're very funny, but it's just, and that's what anyway, long story short, that's what I got sidetracked with tonight, because I'd spent a long time on this, and I just thought, I just need just to lift it up a little bit. And I'm just watching it. I'm like, how are these people walking and talking at the same time? How are they functioning? How do they do it? Because their logic is you've never seen anything like it. You've never seen anything like it. I shouldn't be promoting it, really, should I? I shouldn't be promoting this, but it's just absolutely crazy. It really is. So if any of you get a spare 10 minutes, have a look. Oh, thank you. I did get it done on Saturday. I did get it done. It needed doing. It did. I'm sorry about last Thursday, guys. It literally, I heard about Mitzi probably, well, about 10 minutes before I put the post up to say, obviously I couldn't do it. I just couldn't trust that if I was going to speak about it, I do like to speak a little bit about my day. I knew what had happened, and I can do these stories. I can do them stone-faced, but with regards to animals and my little girl, I was just like, oh, I can't. I'll start crying. But she's fine. She's going to be here on Thursday, looking camera ready as she does. But she's okay. She's doing all right at the minute. But she's 16. She's a little old girl. So, but that's what happened on Thursday. But we're back and we're ready to go. And yeah, this was, like I put on the thing, it's the Upsetting Cheryl Araujo. Oh, God. Araujo. But I don't think that's it. It's Araujo. I've heard it's some. Oh, this is a good start, isn't it? Oh, this is a great start. And there's harder names than this. So, baby, how are you? I haven't got an accent, and they say it with such a beautiful accent. Warwick. What are you doing to me? Oh, God. I can't say that out loud. I can't say that out loud because it's going to be so obvious what I'm talking about. Right. Okay. Focus. You did get me. You did get me. You got me 100%. Oh, okay. I can't. Right. Okay. I'm going to start again. I'm going to focus. I'm focusing. That just threw me off. That's terrible. You completely got me then. Oh, got to keep. Okay. The Upsetting Cheryl Araujo Story. And basically, it's the true story behind the accused. Now, I know they say the accused is kind of, because we've got this thing at the minute about that, what's that big thing that's going on at the minute about Netflix, the donkey thing that's going on. Is it donkey? Is it a donkey or a bear or something? You know, with that woman she was on Piers Morgan, and this there's a Netflix thing, it's all gone worldwide. Is it a bear? That's it, baby reindeer. it? Donkey? Okay, all right, it was close. I haven't watched it, obviously. I haven't watched it. But all I was trying to say is obviously Netflix are getting in trouble at the minute because they claimed at the beginning it's a true story. And I couldn't think of it. I couldn't think of it, Sharon. It shows I haven't watched. I'm terrible. But I do know they're getting in trouble at the minute for claiming across the bottom it's a true story, apparently. So I know with the accused, it was. I can't even remember if they'd said it was based on true events. I think it did. I think my mum says it did. It did say based on true events. But me, I was quite young when I watched it as well, which isn't great. I am in the gutter. Why is that a gutter comment? Is that a gutter comment? Is it? Oh, God. Right, okay. Right. Focus, focus, focus. I'm phasing out, phasing out, phasing out, phasing out. But she, so I know with the accused, they put that, but they changed a few things, details and stuff. So obviously nothing. What's happening now in current day with this reindeer woman, it wasn't done then. But like I say, I didn't know. I didn't realise it was true, and I was mortified. I was absolutely hung like a donkey. Is that what you meant? Have I what? I just said that out loud. I can't start again. I can't start again. What? Warwick! If you're watching tomorrow, if you need to know what's going on, I'm not glitching. Look at the comments and you'll see what's just happened. What is he doing? What's he done to me? I didn't get it. It took me ages to realise. Is that what he meant? Oh, God. Right. It's live. Look at my poor hair, my poor new hair. My hair's getting stressed. Oh, God. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to pull it back. Right, I can pull it back. I can pull it back. Right, okay. Warwick. Okay. We can do it. We can do this. What was I even saying? I can't pull it back. I don't think I can pull it. I'm even I don't think I can pull it back. Can I pull it back? I can pull it back. Right, okay. Oh, sweating and everything. I managed to keep the one comment off the screen, and then right, okay. We can do it. We can do this. So anyway, it's I was shocked to realise it was based on a true story. Right. Yous are on fire tonight. Yous are on absolute fire in them comments. Oh, see, what you? Oh, God. Oh, I was about to say it again. I was like, I can't pull it back. I can't. I just can't. I can't. I don't think I can. I don't. And I'm making it worse. I'm making this worse. I'm not. Poor. Look, I'm sweating and everything. It's going all horribly wrong. I just don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm so sorry if you're watching tomorrow. I'm going to find myself in a clip. I'm going to find myself clipped. I'm going to find myself clipped on YouTube Shorts or on TikTok. You watch, I'm going to be on TikTok with all the kids going at me. And plus, because I downed on their whatever podcast, so they could, that's it, they're coming after me now. That's it, I've had it. Do you know what I have to say? Oh, I can't start again. I can't start. Right. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. Gen Zers. I didn't mean that. I meant, do you know what Gen Xers, when we do this, it's really like this. That's what would. Right. Okay. I don't smoke on camera. I don't vape on camera. Look what yous have done. Right. Okay. Right. Here we go. Here we go. Right. Starting again. So, based on the film The Accused. I don't know if any of you have seen it. Brutal film, and I watched it I was quite young. I was quite young when I seen it. I was told not to watch it, and of course, when you're told not to watch it, you start watching it, and then yeah, so it was awful. But I didn't remember that bit. It's saying that it was uh based on true events. So there was a program that came out. It's another Netflix thing, believe it or not, but it was oh, let me just tell you the name of it now. It's called Trial by Media. And that's where I happened to realise, oh my God, this is real. This was based on true events. So back to the story. The Upsetting Cheryl Araujo story. Story behind The Accused. Okay, let's go. Now, with regards to Cheryl herself, I haven't been able to find a lot of details previous to the events I'm going to talk about. I genuinely haven't. Cheryl Ann Araujo was born on the 28th of the 3rd, 61. I know I've butchered her surname. I'm so sorry. I know I have. She's Portuguese American. At this point, she was living in, and I believe she'd been living there for most of her life, I believe, in New Bedford, Massachusetts. They've got the accent of, I know it's Boston that has that accent, but when I've watched uh, videos of people talking about this crime, they've got the accent of, if you've ever watched Good Will Hunting with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, they've got, or Bill Burr, that accent, that's how they talk. So it's around that area, I believe. Now, Cheryl had a partner. Again, we don't know his name. If you know his name, let me know. I haven't been able to find, well, I suppose we don't need to say it, and I presume that's why his name's being kept out of the notes, so we don't actually need to know his name. But her partner, she was with from high school. They were high school sweethearts, and basically they went on to have 2 little girls. Now, I'll be honest, that's all I've really been able to get about her. Genuinely have. There's not a lot on this girl, which is really sad. It's either really sad or it's very deliberate to either, I don't know, people trying to move on, or they would, or for my reasoning behind it, I think it's for her little girls. I think it's for her little girls to give them some sort of not closure, but to be able to move on. So that's why I think it's all a little bit hidden, I think. So now we're going to come up to March 6, 1983. All right. Now, on this day, Cheryl was having a birthday party for her eldest little girl. Now, her eldest little girl at the time was only 3. So, you know, very young children. And she'd had a little birthday party for her daughter and had a lovely afternoon. And anyway, that evening, she was going to meet one of her friends for dinner. And her partner, the kid's dad, he says, I'll stay in with them. He wanted to watch the football, the American football. I'll call it American football. They call ours soccer. Sorry. But he was staying in for that. And so there she was. Off out she went. And it literally was just going out for dinner with her friend. That was it. Very innocent. Okay, so they had a really nice time, and then at the end they were heading home. It was probably about 9:30, so it's quite early still. But as they're heading home, they sort of get to a break in the road and they head off in different directions. All right. Now, Cheryl, she was a smoker and she needed some cigarettes, and she hadn't realised up to that point that she'd been running out. So as she comes not far from her own home, she's like, oh, I need some cigarettes. So she was going to her normal shop that she would normally get them from. And as she got there, it's coming up to 10 o'clock and it had closed. The shop had closed. And she was like, well, across the road from the shop was a place called Big Dan's. It's a bar. It's like I've seen it. It's online. It's obviously no longer up and running. It's no longer. It's just an old building now, from what I can say. And it's literally just a bar on a corner. Big Dan's above it. You can't see that now, but if you look at the footage from when this happened, you can see it, and it just looks like. It's really weird, actually. It doesn't even look like a bar, but that's what it was. So anyway, she goes into there because she wants to use their vending machine to get some cigarettes. So she goes in, and when she gets in there, she sees there's a girl that she knows, and what are you doing to me? What's going on? What's going on? Right, okay, tonight's a bad night, isn't it? I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, we'll go. Right, I did it. I thought past it. Okay, so if you're watching tomorrow, please join us in the comments. They're a crazy bunch. They find themselves very funny. And yes, just join us in the comments. Okay. So she basically she goes in there and she sees a pal that she knows, more of an acquaintance, but she sees her and she stops and she has a drink with her. Now, if you've ever watched the film, the bar is it's a long bar, quite slim, long bar. I believe Big Dan's was the bar in the film was very much based on the real Big Dan's, and it's a long bar. Bar runs along the one side. You've got seats down this side, obviously where you would walk along this side. Okay, and then at the back, you it sort of you. I'm gonna have to stop. I can't do it. I just can't. I'm trying so hard. I'm trying. Ow. Okay. Yous are on fire tonight. Yous are on absolute fire. And I'm not. Normally, I'm okay. Right. Do you know what it is? I think because it's such a serious one. It is genuinely such a serious one. It's like, oh, I was about to say me too, Kelly. Oh, look at what you're doing to me. Okay. All right. So, long bar, not thick, just long. Seats on one side, bar on the other. And as you walk to the end and go through, I'm going to get so cursed out. You walk through an open, it's kind of a doorway, but it's sort of as you go through. And in the back, in the film, you've got like, you've got a pinball table, some fruit machines, that kind of thing in their jukebox. Don't believe that was there in real life. What was actually there was a pool table, a jukebox. I haven't heard about other things. I would assume there's some fruit machines and stuff back there, but there was a pool table back there. Anyway, Cheryl's headed back there to put some music on the jukebox. That's all she's gone back to do now. Remember, it says she's only had one drink. I don't know if she had any with dinner, but she had eaten. She was eating dinner. So you might think, why am I saying that? Because in this day and age, that wouldn't be questioned. That wouldn't be asked. How many drinks have you had, kind of thing. We're talking about the 80s here. So I'm just making a point This girl, from what I can gather, she's gone out for dinner. She had a kids' party in the afternoon. She's gone out for dinner with a friend. And when she got to this bar, she had one drink. That's all I've been able to find out. Okay. So she's gone to the back. She put on some music on the jukebox. She's had a look at the pool table, see, who's playing and stuff. That's it. However, while she was back there, her friend or acquaintance left. She left the bar. Now, I don't know whether the front door was locked because Cheryl was the only female left in that bar, or it was a locking. Remember, we're going back to the 80s. There was no 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock bars opening and stuff like that. So was it locked just because there was only a few people left in the bar and, they pretend it's closed? We'll remember those days. Well, depending on your age, but that's how it used to be. But the door was locked anyway. Okay. The door was locked anyway. So, when she realizes she's the only woman left in this bar, she goes to leave. And unfortunately, the men that were in there had other ideas. Now, who was left in this back room? There was there was 6 males in the back room. Okay, in the bar at that time there was 10 people. There was Cheryl herself. There was the bartender. There was another man just drinking at the bar. There was a man slumped in a corner, drunk and just asleep. And then there were 6 other men. Okay, 4 of them I'm about to tell you about, and then there was another 2, all in the back room with Cheryl. And like I say, Cheryl at this point, maybe sirens went off in her head. I don't know, but she dawned on her friend's gone. She's got to get out of here. And she goes to walk through back into the main bar. And she doesn't make it that far. And basically, Josie Vieira and Daniel Silva grab her, and basically straight away, it actually seems a little bit more brutal than even the film portrayed, because in the film, if you remember, she was quite flirty with a couple of the guys there. She was chatting to the one main guy. I'm not excusing anything in that way. I'm just saying it didn't appear that even that was going on. Now, Joseph and Daniel grab her and they start basically ripping her clothes off. Imagine, you've got another man called Victor Raposo and then a John Cordero. It was one of those 2. It just says a man, but there was only 4 culprits, if you like. And it was one of those that threw her on the pool table. Okay. Now, I think if you've seen the film, if you've seen the film or you haven't, I think we know what was about to go on. But she was raped over and over again by the 4 men, not 3 as portrayed in the film, but 4 for over 2 hours. 2 hours in a bar in front of people that she'd walked into feeling quite safe not a couple of hours beforehand. And basically it was said that the bartender who was there, I think I said bar manager earlier, he was a bartender, Carlos Machado, his name was. He'd gone to call 911, he had. And apparently it was Virgilio Medeiros who stopped him. Now, I know I'm not pronouncing the name right, but Virgilio Medeiros, okay, and Jose Medeiros, they're not related, they've just got the same surnames. Now, these two, they didn't take part in the rape. No, they didn't. They didn't take part. They're not getting a pat on the back for it because it was these two, again, if you've watched the film, that were egging it on, egging this sexual assault on 2 hours. What are you, look, what's going through your brain? And I'm not even on about Cheryl herself. I'm on about the people in the bar. What would be going on in your brain when you know this 2 hours? That just blows my brain when you think about that time, minute by minute going past. That's what gets me, because I know I keep referring back to the film, but it does seem, even though it says it's loosely based on events or true events or however they wanted to fictionalize it, it's very similar. Let's put it that way. And although it's very graphic and it's very brutal, it seems to be very quick. You know, it wouldn't have seemed so for her, obviously, but it just seemed like it wasn't a long, drawn out thing. Maybe it's me, but just 2 hours just sounds horrific. And you've got these two just egging it on and basically just saying, "Go for it." The stuff that you heard about in the film, look, the one line I've heard a lot is "Go for it." Um, and what I couldn't help thinking about, given the year, was, I know this is going to sound completely off topic, but Rocky was around at that time, and that's a term from one of those films, and it was like, had he got it from that? I just, it was just how my mind worked at the time. I don't know, but like I say, the bartender had tried to call 911. Not only him, but there was another person there. Do you remember I said there was another guy at the bar? He tried to call 911 too, but they were all intimidated by the two that were cheering this on. Now, like I say, same surnames, weren't related, but obviously the people who were in the bar, and there was only two men in the bar who were able to do anything. There was one guy who was just drunk in a corner, slumped, but the other two, bartender and the guy sat at the bar. I just think, I understand being intimidated, but you, to know that's going on just there, and just to look, how intimidated were you? I just, yeah, I shouldn't comment on it because I wasn't there. I just think this poor girl would have been just screaming for anyone to help her, and there was men there that could help her. There was a couple there, and because they were scared for themselves, they wouldn't do anything. I just find it's really like a bitter pill to swallow, really. Um, Now, after the 2 hours, Cheryl herself, she did it herself. She managed to fight them off, and she ran out. And basically, when she ran out, all she had on her was, I've seen some saying it was a ripped pink jumper. I've seen others saying it was a brown jacket. Okay. But that's all she had on with one sock. So she's run out of there practically naked. I mean, the emotions that must have gone through this girl. Oh my God. Now, I don't know if I mentioned actually. I know I said her date of birth at the beginning, but Cheryl was 21 when this happened to her. 21. She was a baby, really. When you put it into perspective, she's 21 years of age. And this is going, it just awful, awful. So as she's running down, now you can see where the bar is. She runs out, and there's basically a road. Did I write the road down? Yes, Belleville Avenue. Okay, and as she runs down, there's two brothers and their pal driving along sort of the opposite direction. The one brother's called Daniel O'Neill, he's 33, Michael O'Neill is 31, and their friend Bobby. Okay, and they're just driving along, and Daniel says he had his head up against the side and he was kind of dozing, and all of a sudden he could hear his brother Michael just shouting, "There's a naked girl in the street, there's a naked girl in the street." And he said he kind of looked at him, because I've seen the interview of them and that's how I knew the accent they spoke to, like that Boston accent. Basically he's looked at his brother and he's like, "What are you talking about?" And then he looked, and there's literally a naked woman running at them. So of course they get out the car, and he says as he came out, she sort of came running round, and wrapped her arms around his neck and just wrapped herself around him. And he says she was holding on to him so tight, he kind of had to loosen his neck a little bit because she was cutting off his hair. She was that scared. He basically says she looked like a deer in the headlights, and she just wouldn't let him go. Now, it's said that at that point, a couple of the I can't even say what I'd refer to these so-called men as, but a couple of them came out of the bar. So all the damage they've done to her, and they're actually coming running out, what, to drag her back? To threaten her? What were they coming out to do exactly? But they were come rushing out of the bar when they seen the three guys. And even in the interview I'm watching, they're like in their 50s at this point in the interview, and they can remember it clear as day. But they're even in their 50s, they're big guys, they're big lads. And so the so-called men who were come running out of the bar just turned around and walked back in when they seen her with these three men. And she was just a mess, of course. She was devastated. She was crying. She was so upset. And she was just saying, "I've been raped, I've been raped, I've been raped." It's just heartbreaking. Now, Daniel himself was a Marine, so he just wanted to make sure he got her help. So they actually took her to the hospital. It was them three who took her to the hospital. Once the police had arrived, they called the police. They sorted everything out, took her to the hospital. So these three men were just, talk about being in the right place at the right time for Cheryl. I mean, it'd have been nice if let's say men like them had been in the bar. Maybe that'd have been a better thing. But when you think of what would have happened if them rushing out of the bar and those three men hadn't have pulled up and they'd have managed to get hold of, like, what were they chasing her for? That's what makes me think, really. But like I say, she was then taken to the hospital. Now, all 6 men were arrested and charged, right? Now, hold on, sorry. Yeah, all 6 men were arrested and charged. Now, Victor, John, Joseph, and Daniel, obviously not the Daniel I was talking about, not one of the brothers. That's what threw me then. Not Daniel O'Neill, the other Daniel, whose surname is Daniel Silver. They were all charged with rape. The cheering group, the cheering band, they were charged with joint enterprise. That was Virgilio, who was, remember, the bloke who was threatening the others not to phone the police, not to open the door. Virgilio and Jose, they were charged with joint enterprise, which is basically encouraging an illegal act and not acting to stop it. It was an actual charge. So that's what they were charged with. Now, what's absolutely so baffling about this, again, because it's the early 80s, I didn't know it was a thing, but the trial was televised. It was actually televised. It was the first, that it was their first one, and they wanted to, start with a good one, I suppose. I just so it was said that the court, while even though it's being televised, the court could have withheld Cheryl's name. They could have withheld it. It didn't have to be put out there for the public. They didn't. The media reporting on it didn't have to put her name out. They did. So poor Cheryl's details were put out for the world. Now, in this, what had happened to Cheryl, and the fact that she was so strong and so brave. Let's remember, I keep saying it, it's the 80s. Rapes, victims of rape didn't come forward then because of, what was you wearing? Where was you going? What was you doing out? What, that kind of victim blaming was rife then. So a lot of victims of sexual assault didn't come forward. Well, Cheryl did. And for a 21-year-old girl, I think that's it was a testament to how strong a girl this girl is. And she's tried to be strong, and she's come forward, and they've released her name to the public. Now, like I say, this is international. People were outraged that this could happen in a place like a bar with other men there. That she should have been able to feel safe. It wasn't late. It wasn't that. You know what? I'm not going to say it wasn't. It was. It wasn't. It was. There's no excuse for any of it. I'm not going to try and come up with other ways that, okay, well, it wasn't this and it wasn't that. It wasn't anything. The girl went in for cigarettes, and she's seen a pal of hers and had a drink with her. That was it. That's the beginning and the end. So, but the defense of, they should be very proud of themselves. I wonder if ever this comes out, look, I'm doing the story now, but maybe a bigger creator, look, maybe a McKenny or someone with a big, like a huge following. I wonder if this defense attorney, if he's still going, would be one of these apologists now. I'm so sorry for what I did in the past, and I hope you forgive me, Tia. I wonder if they'd be like that, because the defense was quite openly, saying she should have been at home, she shouldn't have been out drinking, she shouldn't have been out in a bar. Basically saying she, if not deserved, but certainly invited what happened to her. It's hard to believe, isn't it? It's hard to believe that was a defense. Well, it gets worse, because while this trial's going on, now, where Cheryl was from was a very close community of Portuguese Americans. They were a close knit community. They all lived in one area. Oh, and the Portuguese community weren't happy, and you might think, well, good, I'm glad they're not happy. No. They weren't happy about Cheryl. That's who they were angry about. They were angry that basically that this was causing some sort of ethnic discrimination against them, as in the Portuguese, nationally. And it was causing them a problem. It was causing them a problem, to the point where they're out in the open supporting the rapists. That, again, would any of these come forward now in this day and age, in this climate that we're living in? Tear, I'm sorry, forgive me. I can't. I'll do better. I'll do better now. I can't listen to it. It was the time we were living in. No. It's not an excuse. It's the time we're living in. What, where we support rapists? Is that what we do? Because I was certainly alive in the 80s or 80s, all right, I was young. But I mean, I seen the film. I watched the film. I was quite young when I watched the film. I knew watching that, I wasn't thinking, oh, she shouldn't have been there. No, because as a woman, you would put yourself into her shoes, just like as a male possibly watching that film, you would you would not put yourself into the rapist shoes. I mean, maybe put yourself into the shoes of the people who didn't help her and be like, God, if I'd have been there, I'd have done something, and we all do that when we watch things like this. So, uh, all right, it wasn't, I'm not, it was real life, but still, you would put yourself into the shoes. And it gets worse. The three men who actually, we don't know, could have saved Cheryl's life. We don't know what they were rushing out the bar to do. We don't know were they just going to tell her to shut up or were they going to drag her back in? What were they going to do? And the three men that saved her, oh, they were alienated as well. They were chased off. They were threatened. It's arse backwards. I'm sorry. I don't usually use that term, but it is. It's arse backwards. I don't get it. So that's the Portuguese community within Bedford supporting the rapist. Marvelous. It didn't help with the media's coverage because the media's coverage at the time was being considered xenophobic against the Portuguese community. And this made me sick. Hustler magazine, Top Shelf magazine, okay, put out postcards, right, that said on them, greetings from New Bedford, Massachusetts, the Portuguese gang rape capital of America. That's bad. That's bad enough. But so that's the writing on the postcard, but they had a picture on there too. Do you want to know what the picture was? A naked woman lying on a pool table. I've got no words. I have no words for what. We can't keep saying, oh, it's the 80s, it was different time. That doesn't work. My God. No. The men themselves, right, okay. The four men were convicted of aggravated rape, okay. The two that had cheered it on, and possibly, if you can go by what the film showed, kept it going, okay, because they had an audience. Let's keep this going, okay. That's how the film portrayed it anyway. There was a few more cheering it on in the film, obviously, but still, you got an audience. It's gonna give you a little bit of a boost. So, they were acquitted. They were told, naughty, naughty, don't do it again. You see anyone getting hurt, maybe phone the police, but off you go, off you pop. The other four, the longest any one of them served, any one of them, was 6.5 years. That was it. The whole case, everything that she went through, wrapped up after 6.5 years, done, dusted, finished. 6.5 years. Okay, so now, after the fact, a case was heard at a subcommittee hearing in the Senate. Obviously, we've got, I believe the order is we have obviously Prime Minister, House of Parliament, House of Lords. They've got Prime Minister, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. So in the Senate, there was a subcommittee hearing over whether the crimes like this should be televised, basically. But there was uproar that her name wasn't withheld. There was uproar over this. People weren't happy. So we can say, oh, it was the 80s, but there was other people who were like, what the hell? So it wasn't the 80s. It was just, it was them. It was those people. It wasn't the time. It wasn't the community. It was them. They were just vile. They were vile. And whether it was back in the 80s or it could be yesterday, I don't think would make a difference. I genuinely don't. I think the fact that they got away with it as much as they did, yeah, I think would be different now. But their attitudes and how they thought about things, I don't think it wasn't the time frame. So they believed that the fact that you know, someone's mentioned about the sentences in the US, 100%, 100% Warwick. I sit here every week praising the American justice system. Thank you for bringing it, reminding me. I praise, if you don't watch my stories normally and you're watching it tonight, I am forever praising the American justice system compared to ours. Let me just say that. I'll put that caveat in there. Compared to ours. Certainly can't do it on this one. Can't do. And again, can't say it's the time frame because I've done cases back from the 80s. This wasn't a general thing. So, but then how sexual assault was seen, just awful. And what the Senate was saying, that given the fact that it was televised, her name was put out everywhere, plastered everywhere to be seen, it would stop rape victims coming forward. Of course it would. Everyone knowing, like, and judging you and looking at you, and you'd feel like it was happening over and over again. Awful, awful situation. Now what had gone against her as well was that she'd originally believed that there was more people in the bar, right? She believed there was more cheering on. Again, that's something that's touched on in the film. And that had gone against her because it was proven by everyone there, I'm presuming including her friend, that there was 10 people in the bar, including her. So that had gone against her. But it was just, it just added to the international disgust of it that they did believe there was more people in the bar. So the community went against her for that. They had a line on that. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me just get this right. One second, lads. 1 second, lads. Just stop a second. Let me just sit up a second. Let me 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you cheering it? Okay, 5. What was she gonna do? I just crazy, crazy, crazy behaviour. So it all got too much for that. I probably was a bit too graphic then. Sorry, but it just annoyed me. It just annoyed me that they were like, why couldn't she know how many people were around her? Who was cheering on? Who was doing? Are you joking? Are you joking? Really? That's what. Stop. Okay, so Cheryl couldn't. It was too much. It was too much. Like I said, she'd been born and bred around this area, but her boyfriend, who was a childhood sweetheart, and the father to her 2 girls, and her 2 girls, they had to up and leave, and they went to Miami, Florida. Okay. Now the it left obviously a devastating mark on their lives, obviously. And Cheryl herself did begin to drink quite heavily after this. Who could blame her? She was trying to move on with her life though, and she'd enrolled in college to become a secretary. So she really was trying. But we come up to December the 14th, 1986. It was 3 years later. She'd actually just turned 25. So it's just over 3 years later, and it was 4:46 p.m. And Cheryl, sorry, and her two daughters were returning from a Christmas show. Two girls were in the back, and obviously Cheryl's driving, and she lost control of the car, and she actually hit a concrete cement utility pole. Now her 4-year-old in the back, her arm was broken, and her 6-year-old, basically she only had minor injuries, so the two girls were okay. But where she'd hit the car, it did hit the driver's side door. So Cheryl ended up dying from the multiple injuries from the crash. And about a week after this had happened, the Dade County Medical Examiner's Office basically said that Cheryl at that time had a blood alcohol level of nearly 3 times the legal limit when the crash happened. So I just thought, how sad. What an end to this girl's story. What an end. It was just, I just felt so deflated when I realised that she died. Because, again, if you watch the film, and I would presume, because obviously the film came out after that, I would presume that that might have been why they changed things. But I just thought, how sad. And because I'd watched that, I just assumed she was alive. And so I was just gutted when I realised that's actually what happened to her. I was. Now, 1988, obviously the film came out. Now, something I found out, if you've watched the film, obviously Jodie Foster plays, I think, Sadie, her name is in it, I think. And Kelly McGillis plays the lawyer. Kelly McGillis was in Top Gun as well. I think she played Charlie in Top Gun. What I didn't realise about Kelly McGillis herself, she'd been through a very brutal situation in her own life in 1982. So a year before what had happened to Cheryl, Kelly McGillis herself was brutally raped in her own home. It was a home invasion, and it was terrible, right? Where she was beaten and over and over again. It went on for a very long time. And the worst part about it, she was only 24 at the time, and the worst part about it, the two men who broke in, it was a 15-year-old boy and a 20-year-old man, and apparently it was the 15-year-old boy that was the main antagonist to her. Now the 20-year-old who took part in this, he got off with it, and the 15-year-old got 3 years. So even as a star, Hollywood star, even then they didn't get any time. So it was obviously a standard thing back then, whether it is in US. I know we're certainly, we've got our own things going on. But yeah, even she went through that, and that came out in 2016 when she'd actually, this is Kelly McGillis, actually suffered a home invasion in 2016 from a woman breaking into a home, and it brought it all back. And that's when this came out of what had happened to her back in 1982. Obviously, Jodie Foster herself, she won an Academy Award. I believe Academy Awards, Oscar, it's the same thing, isn't it? She won an Oscar for obviously her role in the film. And like I say, you've got the Netflix program, but it's from 2020. It's called Trial by Media. If you do want to have a look, you can see the interview. You don't need to have a look at the show, actually. There is a very short clip, I think it's a couple of minutes long, online of the two of the brothers. Remember I said the 3 guys who pulled up and helped Cheryl possibly saved her at the time. Two of them were brothers. There's that interview with them two on there, and it's crazy to think like the amount of time that had passed, and it was like they were talking it was like when they were talking about it, it had happened yesterday. So that's on there. But yeah, that's the upsetting Cheryl Araujo story. And that's the story behind the film The Accused. Okay. So yeah. Ugh. Sad, and it really sad. Got there in the end, but yeah, really sad. I think that's what I was struggling with at the beginning, because I knew what was coming. It's just, yeah, really, really sad. I think I saw out the corner of my eye Warwick on about Jodie Foster. Do you know? I think she's been a favourite for a long time. Jodie Foster, she really has. Wasn't she the one? Wasn't she in Taxi Driver? If I'm not mistaken. Wasn't that her breakout film? Which I've never, funny enough, and I liked Robert De Niro. Yeah, I've never seen it. I've never seen that one. Funny enough, and I've seen all of his, like The Goodfellas and Casino and all of those. Well, I've never watched that one. But yeah, just a sad story, isn't it? I think. Oh, thank you, Warwick. Thank you. Yeah, I felt just a bit really deflated when I realised that she died. I just thought it was really sad, really, really sad, especially after she was trying to make a go of it. And obviously, alcohol had played a part in her life, but it seemed like she was really trying. It's just very, very sad. Obviously, very lucky her little girls, were okay and minor injuries and stuff. And I think the reason the information's so vague on a lot of this is because, they wanted to give the girls the best chance of life. I mean, kids can be cruel. Do you know what I mean? So probably that's why. Let's have a look. Oh, it is. It was this, wasn't it? It is just awful, awful. I haven't seen True Detective. I haven't seen that. Do you know what I like doing? But I do like the film. Panic Room. I know it wasn't one of the best films. I know it wasn't, but I literally. Oh, was it really? Oh, I thought it was Is Taxi Driver her though? It is. Is Taxi Driver her? Is it no Bridget Bard? Is it Bridget Bard? Not Bridget Bardo. Who was the really young girl who played Lolita? Because there was uproar over that. Oh, it was Taxi Driver. Yeah, it wasn't did Bridget Bardot or something. I really liked Panic Room, and yeah, you did, didn't you? Sid? I did, because that's my imagination. My imagination goes crazy. Like, what would I do if someone broke in and this, and this? I'd love a Panic Room. I'd love one. I'd have it just fitted out, and I'd learn so many things from that film of what not to do. But I'd love a Panic Room in every room. If ever I got rich, that's what I'd do. And I'd have one in my kitchen. Look, I'm telling everyone, it's online, all my escape routes now, but I'd have one in my kitchen that dug down into the garden to say, this is me, this is how my brain works sometimes. But I'd just have them all over they call me Tallulah. I don't know what's that? I don't know what that reference is. Was I supposed to say it out loud? Have you done it to me again? Was I supposed to say that one out loud? Tallulah. I like that name though, Tallulah. I don't know. Shall I stop saying it? Is it bad? I don't know what the reference is. Teen Witch. That's a throwback. Teen Witch. If anyone's ever seen that, oh, it was a classic of the 80s. Me and Tiffany loved that film. Well, I loved it, and then Tiffany stole it. She stole it from me. I'd actually rented it from the video shop and stole it. And then Tiffany stole it from me. Yeah. What is it? I'm gonna be the most. What do you say? Look, it's all gonna go horribly wrong because I can't sing either. But yeah, I love that film. It's such a feel good film, and I had a massive crush on the guy in it as well. Oh, okay. I've never seen Bugsy Malone. She must have been really young in that then. She must have been really young. And she looks young now. I think Ricky Gervais said made a joke about her at one of the Golden Globes, and she took it really well. She took the joke really well, but she looked young there. She just hasn't aged. She looks really good. One thing I will tell you, when I was looking up about that Kelly McGillis, who played the lawyer in The Accused, I shouldn't say because obviously she's had a really hard life. I shouldn't say, but they do a side by Brad. Yes, we love Brad. They do a side by side of Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis, obviously because they were both in Top Gun. Now he was 24 and she was 27 in it, so there's only 3 years between them. It's mean because they've done a side by side of them now. Tom Cruise, oh come on, there's something he takes special oils or something. I've never seen Bugsy Malone, honestly. I've never seen it. That's one I genuinely have never seen. I've never seen Taxi Driver, Warwick. So no, I haven't. Do you know? It's an unpopular opinion, but I'm not a huge fan of hers. It's not that I don't. It's just that I suppose I probably haven't come across a lot of her films. The films that I have watched her in, I have really enjoyed. So I can't say I'm not a fan of hers. It's just I haven't come across a lot of her films, I suppose. I think that's what it is. She's obviously a legend in her own right. I don't mean that, but yeah, I genuinely haven't. I genuinely didn't watch that one. And I only know about Taxi Driver because of Robert De Niro, because I'm a huge fan of his. Not so much anymore. I think he's gone a bit odd. But look at me. I'm gonna get myself in so much trouble. You lot, honestly, between the beginning and now, if I don't find myself on some sort of TikTok with I don't know, Gen X taking the piss out of Gen Z or something, or this Gen X being inappropriate. Never come across them as that. Look what you're doing. I can laugh now. I couldn't laugh earlier. It was just, oh, you've killed me earlier. Oh, what are you like? Yes, we will. We will. We will, Sharon, definitely. Massive fan of Tom Cruise. I was a huge fan of Tom Cruise, especially in the Top Gun days. He's another one though. I think he's on some sort of I don't know, because he doesn't age, does he? You know how you hear they're all into, yeah, that's another subject, but like I'll go down my conspiracy theory route in a second. So Tiffany will tell you. Once I start, I can't get off that soapbox. But he doesn't age, does he? How does someone not age ever? I know some people are just very, very lucky, but look at the side by side of him and that Kelly McGillis. It's only 3 years between them. And it's like, I don't know about that. It all looks a bit odd. But he's obviously just got very good genes. I'm just being mean. But yes, massive fan of Tom Cruise. Massive. Not so much now, but I was. He ain't right in the head. No, he's not. He's not. He threw me off. Sharon, how's your room coming along? How's it coming along? How's your studio happening? Hands up, who would love Jess to come on here? Me. I'll put my hands up. I'll do that. I would enjoy that. I would love. I have not been invited on anyone, so I'm so happy. I feel so flattered. I don't know if you said. I don't know. I think would not boys though. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I would talk. I suppose if Warwick, Tiffany, Kelly, and yous all join in and Phil, I think they'd give us something as well, Sharon, because you'd keep it going. But I think I'd need like something, because me and myself, I'd just be like knocking the camera like that and not knowing what to talk about. Yes. I don't know how you do it. I think it would be very funny though. It would. Do you mean like a live Zoom? How does it work? I'm not technical. I was only saying it to Warwick earlier, Warwick or Phil. I'm just the least. Oh, yeah, I think it'd be 8, but I'm just the least technically minded person ever. The shocking part of that is I used to work for a blue chip computer firm, but our programs were set up for us. Like my parents used to come in, they're like, "Don't you work with computers?" And I'm like, "No, I do accounts. I do it on a computer, but I don't not. Yeah, no, it's a program that's set up for me. I know how to press the button, switch it on. That was about it. The firm was a computer firm, like an IT firm. Me, I pressed the button and I phoned. That's what I did. So no, I'm not. I'm looking for more. I went to Malta last year, Charlotte. It's beautiful, isn't it? Got to go over to Gozo as well. Yeah, and it's it's beautiful there. Yeah, we went there at the end of August, beginning of September, just gone. Charlotte, you're very lucky. I'm very jealous. But we're going to Lanzarote this year now on the 4th of June we go. So very excited about that. But nearer the time, I'll let you all know what we're going to do. Okay, that sounds good. I'm up for that. Yeah, because it could all go horribly wrong. And where Warwick is, there's a chance. There's a chance. And he's very good. He's very good because he's in the comments. So when you voice it out, he can just sit there going, ha, 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 got you again. That's what he can do. And Tiffany, you think you're being good as well, my peacock, but you have your moments as well. I'll tell you what, but I'd be lost without you all because it would just be so serious. And I like the ends because I don't come off like, that anymore. I come off quite light-hearted now, which is you need to after doing especially stories like this. You need to come off, got something in me on. You need to kind of lift the mood slightly. But Thursday, what story am I bringing to you Thursday? I know I've got a request. I think it's Kelly. Is it you? Is it what? Oh my God! Sorry, I'm sorry. That's quite on camera, isn't it? Is it Aaron Hernandez? Is that the one, Kelly? I know I've got that one for you. Future venture I can't spell in Lanzarote when you say it, Costco. Oh, okay. I didn't realise geography's not a strong point of mine, Charlotte. Honestly, I'm terrible. Is it almost done? Sharon, that's exciting. You've been working so hard on that. You really are. You persevered with that. I don't think I'd have the patience. I really don't. But yeah, I've gone in and deleted it. No! Why? Why did you delete them? But now they're gonna know. Now they're not gonna. No, because now they're just gonna think it's me. What did I'm gonna have to rewatch back, aren't I, and see what I said. See if it was anything. Was anything I said overly noticeable? Was it overly noticeable what I said? Did I repeat anything? I can't remember now. I can't remember. It was a whole hour ago. I'm terrible. Oh, are you ringing off again? That's okay. Valletta. What's Valletta? Is that a place? I don't know. I've been to Malta and Lanzarote this year. Me and Tiff have been to Turkey, haven't we, sis? But I suppose we're not very well travelled. Jet 2. I've heard that's who I flew with Ryanair last year. Do you know what? It was fine because it's not a long flight, so it was fine. Oh, you did? Okay, lovely. I've missed that. It keeps going off. First because they judge my dad. Jesus, Jess. What have I done? Why is it Jesus in me? What did I do? Am I saying something? What's Valletta? But what does that mean? Is that why you're Jesus in me? Valletta in Malta. Oh, okay. So it's Jesus in me. Oh, it is in Malta. Oh, I did see that place because being a Catholic, is that the really holy place? Very pretty with the really thin roads. Yes, I do remember. Now I know what you mean. Just it took me a second then. Took me a second. It's been nearly a year since I was there. But yes, that's a beautiful, beautiful place. We couldn't get out the car because, oh, is it the capital of Malta? Oh, is it? I didn't realise it was the capital. I just thought it was a really pretty place. Oh, that's terrible. I told you. I told you I'm not great on my geography. I know a bit, but oh, that's terrible considering I've been there. I don't know why I thought Gozo could possibly be the capital because Gozo's a completely separate place. I had to get on a boat to get there, so obviously I knew that couldn't be it. Okay, so that's it. It's a really pretty place though. Oh, that's terrible, isn't it? That's terrible. I'm awful. Okay, so big church, yes. See, knew it. Told you, Warwick. Knew it. Got it eventually. It's the place with the churches, very pretty churches as well. But we didn't get to go out of the car because it was very. Yeah, Gozo's just there though. It's about 2 minutes, isn't it? It's about 2 minutes over there. It's beautiful as well. You get more Italians on there though, I thought, than you get Maltese. You get more Italians there. You can, yeah. Beautiful though. All beautiful. But we didn't get to get out of the car when we went to that Valletta part, I think it is. Because the roads were so little and it was all one way. It was all a nightmare. I was like, get me out of there. So we ended up going back to the pool. It was a complete waste of 3 hours. It was terrible, but it was very, very pretty place. Okay, so I am going to stop mocking me. Stop mocking me. No, I've been there, but I didn't remember it. Well, no, I remembered it, but I don't remember individual places. I just sort of flew through. I know Malta's quite small though, so I probably should have clocked that. But I did. Caught on as soon as I was questioning it. Caught on. So there you go. I'm not well travelled. I've been to three countries. Turkey. Does Ireland count? Ireland counts as a country. So I've been to Ireland and I've been to Scotland. I've been to Turkey. Greece. I've been to Greece. Didn't like Greece. Did not like Greece. Don't get me started on Greece. And not the islands. I was on the mainland and it rained and they were poking me. Asking me if there was anything wrong with me because I was so pale. Me and Greece did not get on. We did not get on. It rained for the first time apparently in 40 years. It was horrific. There was a discotheque with the Q and the U missing, just flashing at me, which was the restaurant / bar / disco. It was a whole thing. It was a whole nightmare. And I didn't go away. I didn't go abroad for another 10 years after that experience. And then we went to Turkey, which we loved. We did really enjoy Turkey. Very friendly. Where we went, I know there's obviously different parts, but if you go a little bit out, a little bit quieter, lovely. Loved it. It's part of the British Commonwealth. Yeah, I know. I thought Ireland had count. I suppose because we went there quite a lot, so I was like, does that count? But it does. Right then, I'm going to. Been to West Brighton Magistrates Courts. Oh, look at you! I've only been to the Birmingham one twice. We'll leave that for another time. We're not. It's nothing bad. Let me just say that it's nothing bad. It wasn't my fault, but yes, twice. Terrible. I've been good for the past few years, but it wasn't me. Wasn't bad. Wasn't my fault. But yeah, we'll leave that for another time because it's a whole long thing. Maybe me and Sharon can discuss it. Sharon, you can ask me while I was in Birmingham court. I've been to 8 countries in Europe. Look, you've been to Hong Kong as well. Look at you, Charlotte. Now that's well travelled. Wow, that's impressive. No, I'm terrible. Do you know what it is? If I could do a Sabrina and just go and put myself Sabrina, But if I could do that and just appear in a different country, fine. It's the traveling. I can't. The planes, I'm a nightmare. I'm dreading this one. It's 4 hours, and that's long for me. That's too much. I couldn't do like in Australia, isn't that like a 12-hour? It's like 10 hours or something away. No, 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 no chance. No chance. Oh God. Do you know the only way I'd do it is if I could go, when you get them, have you seen them? That ice? I don't even know what planes they are, but they've got like a upstairs, and you go up the stairs and they've got like beds and like a little lounge. All right, it's not like lounge, but it's got like a seat with a TV. Behind it's got a bedroom, like a bed with a shower. Now, if I had that kind of money, then I'd be well travelled. Then I'd jet set around the world. But when I'm like this, no, it's awful. I hate it. I just hate travelling. I hate travelling. I hate coaches. I hate planes. I hate any of the above. Unless don't mind driving. If I'm driving myself, I'm good. I'm happy. So if I could drive everywhere, I'd be more than happy. Right, okay. I have to go, and we'll sort that out then, Sharon. I'm very excited, and we can just all have like a chit chat and have fun. That sounds fun. But I will be back on Thursday, and we'll have Mitzi here on Thursday, being camera ready as she always is. And yeah, hope you have a lovely couple of days. Takes me ages to do. Oh, okay. Where does that even come from? And no, have you ever played Chubby Bunny with marshmallows? What? Why are we talking about that? What am I doing? It was just when he brought the rain trees fruit passes, Chubby Bunny. We could do that. Should we do that, Sharon? We could play Chubby Bunny on camera. I'm what's that thing where you just what's that thing? Where you throw things out when you're is it troubleshooting? Just throwing. I don't know. See, look at me poor hair. Poor hair's all sweaty and stressed and everything. All Warwick's fault. Warwick, you're getting it all. You're getting the brunt tonight. Brainstorming. Yes, brainstorming. I'm brainstorming. We can do Chubby Bunny. Sounds good. I'm up for that. I've just basically come up with it now. That's what we're doing, apparently. But okay, right. I'm gonna see you all on Thursday. If you are still somehow watching tomorrow, somehow if you're still here, you are a rascal. And yeah, don't you lick it. That's a good one. That's a good one, sis. Donut gang, don't lick your lips. That's really hard. I can't do that one. If you are still here, John, yeah, me too. That's why I thought it'd be a good one. Me too. I'm here. We can do Chubby Bunny together. If you want to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/JessRose5472. Or if you'd like to be with us and have fun with us on the live, we have serious stories, and then we do have a little bit of a chat afterwards and stuff. So if you'd like to join us, it's join us in the live, or like, comment, subscribe, guys. Like, comment and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Like, comment and subscribe, guys. That's my, if you're watching at the beginning, that's my jingle. Sorry, you have to deal with it because it's what we do. It's like, comment and subscribe, guys. I have a sore throat when I come off. Right. And yeah, I will see you all Tuesday. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Sharon and Tiff and Warwick and Kelly and Charlotte. PJ was on earlier. I know I did see PJ. Have I missed anyone off? Haven't seen Hayley. Where's Hayley? Where's Hayley? She keeps missing out on us. She keeps flaking on us. I'm gonna have to hunt her down. But yes, I said Sharon, didn't I? I definitely said you, Sharon, didn't I? But I will see you all on Thursday. Have a fabulous couple of days. And I'll let you know Thursday afternoon what story I'm bringing to you on the night. And let's see if I can hold my focus for more than 3.5 seconds on Thursday. But thank you all so much, and all arms today. And I'll see you all on Thursday. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh no, not gone. Still not gone. I'm still here. Like, comment, subscribe, guys.